Another beautiful Sunday for FBA basketball. Hello everyone and welcome in to what almost is the half point of the season. Jesse O alongside Alvin Delvey, Mark King on hand with us today as well. Well, Alvin, I have to say it's good to be back, and a whole string of games today. Only three, not a quadruple header, only a triple header today, but a lot of good action that we're going to see, and teams that seem to match up pretty well against each other. And in the first one, we have the Gainesville Mighty Oaks and the St. Pete Tide. How do these two teams try to come out today with a victory?
Well, both teams are phenomenal. We have the Mighty Oaks, who are 4-5 on the season so far. However, they just got that last loss last week to the best team in the FBA, the only undefeated team, and that is the Florida Flight. And they only done so by losing by one. It was a 110 to 109 loss. But the Mighty Oaks have a lot of things to be proud of. They have a guy in Jonathan Johnson who has been pretty solid for them all around. Hustle player, does well defensively. Dropped in 23 in their last game. You have Anthony Young, who's a facilitator, got a nice handle on him. You got Jabari Hayes, who hustles all around, kind of like a Draymond Green for them. You have Jaquan Whitley, who shoots the ball very well. So there's a whole host of guys who do a phenomenal job for the Mighty Oaks, and they believe that their sound guard play is going to get them this victory. And on the other end, with the St. Pete Tide, they're 7-2. They only lost to they had one loss that was a 5-on game, so they didn't have all their guys. But they're a pretty solid team. Obviously, they only lost 2 games. And they have a star in Anthony Brooks. He dropped 22 in their last game. Romeo Edwards dropped 24, and he's a high flyer for them. And you have Aaron Richards, who's an unorthodox player, but he hustles all over the court and does a lot of the things that you need done. Josh Shane erupted in their last game, dropped in 23. You have Sean Sukup, a defensive phenom. A.J. Williams is a superstar for them as well. So both these teams are star-studded. It's going to be a very guard-heavy game on the Mighty Oaks side. That's the way they play the game of basketball. And on the St. Pete side, it's very forward-heavy, so you're going to see a lot of wing action. So there's a lot of good things that's going to happen in this game. Very exciting to watch. Both these teams are similar in their dynamic shooting percentages, around the same. Mighty Oaks shoot the ball from 3 a little better, and they shoot the ball from free throw, but both teams like to move the ball very well. Mighty Oaks have the advantage. So this is going to be a very interesting game from two teams who are eager to get a victory early on this Sunday.
So, and we're here in game 1. The Gainesville Mighty Oaks dropped their last game to the Florida Flight 110 to 109, and they happened to hit a 3 right at the end of that ball game. And, you know, you just, as Alvin and I always say, it's a game of free throws, and if maybe they made a few extra free throws earlier on in the day, a completely different story if that 3 is hit, but they dropped back into the loss column last weekend. Now are 4-5 on the season. Like Alvin was saying, the St. Pete Tide come into this one at 7-2. Their 2 losses against the season came in that 5-man game against Tampa. They lost that one 152 to 108. And then you had the loss against the Florida Flight, who still remain the only undefeated team in the FBA. Well, a good matchup here as St. Pete's coming off a win against Brevard 110 to 102. Starting lineups presented by Polywealth Management as we go down to the floor. Josh Shanes, Sean Sukup, Anthony Brooks, Romeo Edwards, and A.J. Williams are on the floor for the St. Pete Tide. And for the Gainesville Mighty Oaks, Anthony Young will be running the point. Ian Demirovich all the way down low. The sharpshooter Jared Doherty joins them alongside Jaquan Whitley and a surprise star in the FBA in Jonathan Johnson. He got his first dunk of the season last weekend, and that was a fun one to watch, Alvin. Definitely.
Jonathan Johnson, he's a high flyer, and he's pretty humble. The more you talk to him, you realize he's a good guy, and watching him excel in this league has been just fun to watch. A very exciting player. He's slated to have a phenomenal game. He plays the game the right way, coming off a 23-point showing in his last game. Excited to see what he has to show for us.
The Gainesville Mighty Oaks almost won the toss there, but it went right to St. Pete, who will start things off. Anthony Brooks getting to his spot early and hitting the first shot of the game. 2 points for Anthony Brooks, and now it's a 2-0 ball game.
Love to see Anthony Brooks get involved in the game early. First shot right out of the tip, gets right to his spot, knocks down that mid-range seam jump shot. Phenomenal basketball.
Down low inside, and Ian Demirovich As you call him, Alvin, the electrician.
The electrician doing a fantastic job getting to the spot. His mom came all the way from Bosnia and his sister to come watch him. So look for Eden to have a dynamic game.
His family's here from Europe. Bounce pass down low, knocked away by the Gainesville Mighty Oaks. Demirovic will be credited with the steal, and Johnson going up with a left hand. It's a 4-2 ball game.
And that's a good job by John Johnson, just staying active defensively and turning that into a bucket on the other end, and A.J. Williams being strong down low.
And a 3 hit by Jaquan Whitley, and that's the guy they need to have going early. If he's hitting threes, it's going to be a completely interesting game. Up top, here's Josh Shane, who erupted for 24 last game, was just averaging a little bit over 4 points per game. Anthony Brooks from the right side. That one's off the mark. Look at Sean Sukup getting the rebound, stolen by Johnson. Johnson looking ahead, throws it to the right. Young, the pump fake out beyond the arc. Now Johnson toes the line, turns around. He tried to Steph Curry it. That would have been cool if he made it.
A little off the front iron, a little light on that, but man, I love the confidence Jonathan Johnson is playing with early on.
Josh Shane to his spot on the right side. Shane's an interesting player. He can get inside, create some separation down low, but also can pull it back a little bit and hit those mid-range jumpers.
Definitely a true point guard, likes to facilitate, and on the last showing that he had with 23-point eruption, shooting the ball very well. You want to see him get into that early on. You're seeing him let that thing fly.
Doherty, the sharpshooter, and he hits the 3 to start off the game.
Wow. Jared Doherty has been emerging as of late in this season right now, showing you what he does best, knocking down tray balls, and that was no exception.
Shane underneath, stepped out of bounds, 9:16 left to play in the first.
That's a smart play in basketball, you know, to throw it off of the guy when you're falling out of bounds, but when you're unsuspecting, you got your hands up like Jared on that play, and you just get decked with the ball in your stomach. That's one of those moments where you can't breathe, and I wonder if he's breathing right now.
We hope so. Doherty, a long 3. And that one is off. Here's Brooks coming up on the near side, inside to the lane, but blocked down low by Johnson, and Demirovic fouled.
And that's what you get with Jonathan Johnson. You get hustle and you get spectacular play on both ends of the court. He can go and get a bang out, get a big play, knock down that chocolate float. But on that last play we saw, he can run down and chase down one of the better finishers in this league, and that is A.J. Williams. Great job by Jonathan Johnson.
A catch and shoot by Jaquan Whitley. He's 2 for 2 on those shots out beyond the arc, I should say. It's a 13-6 ball game. 8.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. They'll swing this one around. Pass up top. Another catch and shoot. And Brooks off the margin on that one to bounce ahead. Pass to Johnson. And Johnson inside, and an offensive foul.
Good job by Brooks getting back and getting position to draw that contact. And just in this game so far, we're seeing the Mighty Oaks come to a fiery start per usual. Now, the interesting part about this game is the Tide typically have a second half emerges. They come out swinging in the second half. So for the Mighty Oaks, it's going to be how they handle that third quarter and the onslaught the Tide is going to bring in that third.
St. Pete playing today without their head coach, Nate Gill. Romeo Edwards, pass inside, down low. Sukup couldn't get it to fall. A.J. Williams, the putback. He is their leading scorer this season, averaging 27 points per game. And in his 2 games back, he missed a couple of their games, but in his first game back, he put up 33, and then last week had 21 in their victory. Whitley, the shoot from the right side, no good. Josh Shane going the other direction. Romeo Edwards will pull up for a 3. And Whitley pulls down the rebound.
Going back to A.J. Williams' style of basketball, he is a glass cleaner and just does everything you want from that forward position. He can attack, he can slash, he gets boards as well.
Look at Anthony Young hitting his first 3 of the game.
And for the Mighty Oaks, it is imperative that they have a strong game out of Anthony Young. He has the cleanest handles probably in the league. He's very comfortable with the rock, has a nice shot to him as well. So they're very guard heavy, makes good decisions. Right there, seeing him knock down the trifecta.
Down low, a foul. Whitley thought he got ball.
AJ Williams showing off that cut on his forearm, letting him know that there was real contact there. Jaquan Whitley being strong on that block. That's what you want to see. Nothing easy. Fight for everything. That's the type of game this is going to be. And it's good for the players to get that physicality out of them. A little delay in the action gives us time to talk about the dynamics of these two teams. Both of them are shooting around 40%. St. Pete has the upper hand. And in both of their last games, the winning score, the golden number was 110. St. Pete tied winning against the Bobcats. They scored 110 points to Bobcats 102. And the Mighty Oaks, which was a nail-biter, was a 1-point deficit, and they scored 110. So 110 being that sweet spot, that sweet number for the victory in these both two teams. What's your over-under on this game? Do you think it's going to go above 100, 110?
Per team? Over-under per team?
Yes.
Well, I would say the combined total over-under is going to have to be 225.
225? I like that. Yeah, I like that.
Half. You have to do a half because that way it's either below 225 or 126 and over.
Okay.
So I think that's what we're working with today. Although, you know, the Mighty Oaks averaging 113 points per season. St. Pete only averaging 112. I say only like it's, you know, a big defeat, but so 1-point differential between their points per game this season. Williams is all right as he comes on back on the floor with a bandage on that left forearm of his. Interesting thing to know as well that the Mighty Oaks are one of the only teams in the FBA that shoot above a 30% clip from beyond the arc, Alvin.
And I think that's just something Coach Stallworth has instilled in his team. Speak with him before the game. He has a whole workshop. He works with these players, and shooting is one of them. He does a lot for his guys. He's one of those guys that really look after his players and does his utmost to make sure guys are getting out and just looking after his players. A funny story about Coach Stallworth, not really funny, it's more so inspiring. He had a camp, basically. He had a couple of guys come in because, as all of you know, COVID did a number on the way things are done in the world, really. So for guys who just graduated high school in basketball, they weren't able to get out, and he was able to get a couple guys in his practice and have a few scouts watch them, and got everyone who came to play from high school or from their respective groups to come practice was able to go to different universities, and one of those universities was Jacksonville Athletic Academy. So a big shout out to them for doing the right thing and getting some guys that could play ball looked at, and that's what Coach AJ Stallworth brings. That's the coaching he instills in his team. So very fun to watch, and that's an interesting stat for his three-point percentage as a unit.
There's the second team foul on the Gainesville Mighty Oaks. It was on the floor, so they will take it from the sideline on the far side. Sukup to inbound, guarded by Demirovic, and now back up top to Brooks. A quick pass down low to Sukup, cutting towards the basket, and it was knocked away by the electrician.
Battle of the electrician versus the concrete man. So we have
Anthony Young right up top.
We have a tray ball by Ant Young. That's 2 threes in this game. That lets me know he's feeling good. His shot's falling. This is going to be a fun one to watch down the stretch.
Jabari Hayes trying to get in the action. Brooks down left, lowers the shoulder, and Demirovic the rebound.
Showing off the handle. You saw that kill dribble behind the back? Okay.
Elijah Gray back to Hayes, and Hayes a few dribbles in. Second dash shot, no good.
Look at
Demirovic fighting down low. Hayes inside the restricted area makes his first basket of the game.
And that's why you need an electrician, giving them second chance opportunities.
And AJ Williams on the other side laying it in, and he's now got 8 points. It's a 21-12 game with 5 minutes and 13 seconds to play in the first quarter. Catch and shoot by Whitley, and here's Williams going the other direction. Williams takes it coast to coast.
And flexes a little at the end. Good job drawing that contact and finishing by A.J. Williams. And this is interesting because they don't have a coach on that sideline, so substitutions is going to be an interesting thing.
Anthony Young up top. His third three of the game. He's 3 for 3 from beyond the arc. Now with 9 points, and the Mighty Oaks lead by 10.
Tuned in and ready to play. Anthony Young is not messing around.
Demirovic the steal with the help up top from Whitley. Whitley, a bounce pass to the right. Young again. And that one just misses the mark. So his first missed 3 of the ball game. Now 3 for 4 from beyond the arc. His team's up by 10. The sharpshooters Doherty and Jonathan Johnson about ready to come back in the game, but they're kind of steamrolling on the floor. Young getting to his spot from the free throw stripe. Anthony Young maybe trying to put on a show today, averaging just south of 14 points per game this season, had 8 in their last game. Josh Shane, speaking of a guy that was hot in their last game, he's got 5.
That's what you love to see. Guard play on both ends. Anthony Young is just dynamic, and right now he's putting that on display. Josh Shane, on the other hand, is no slouch either. Came back and banged home a trifecta of his own. We are watching phenomenal guard play from both of these teams.
Jabari Hayes, his own rebound, and he lost the handle of it going towards the basket, but it was off of St. Pete.
Dominic Johnson checking in. He had 5 points in his last showing. However, in his first game, he was just phenomenal. He's a natural-born leader. So that's going to be an interesting dynamic to see how he handles the crafty Anthony Young.
So like you were saying, Alvin, St. Pete is definitely a second-half team. But do you think that if this team goes into the half trailing by more than 10, do you think they have it in them to make a comeback? Romeo Edwards, though, on this side with his first basket.
Isolation bucket by Romeo Edwards, letting him know you can't just leave the paint unattended. Great job slashing and dashing and getting that bucket by Romeo Edwards. But that's another fantastic point. And it goes back to not having a coach on the sideline. So at halftime, the coach is on the sideline to watch. He's critiquing the game, and he's going to give you little tidbits here and there, little things to correct. So without that, at halftime, it's going to be a bunch of guys, obviously smart, high IQ basketball players. Great job by Romeo Edwards on that block, just getting vertical. But not having a coach to actually dissect something is going to give the Mighty Oaks the advantage, because they have Coach AJ watching and critiquing the game, and he's going to have his game plan ready to adjust. So if there's no coach, I don't know if they come back from a 10-point deficit in the second half.
Sports are games just of adjustments, right? And it's hard to make an adjustment if you're not seeing it from a different perspective. You know, players and coaches do very much have different perspectives of the game, right?
Of course, naturally. Because on one end, you're playing. You're seeing the guy in front of you. You're trying to dominate your matchup, do what you have to do your 1/5 of the game. Versus a coach, he's just watching and making sure the game as a whole is flowing well. So not having that person to sit back and just watch the whole game, and he knows the players, knows how to do his job and lead the team, I don't know if they can pull this one out, but they're doing a fantastic job so far.
Johnson on the other end, up with the left hand. Nice little scoop to the basket.
Very smooth. He just plays above the rim. Great job by Jonathan Johnson.
Johnson out to Brooks for 3. And Sue Cup doing so well down low. They left him unattended.
Left him unattended. The cement man, concrete man, owns his own business, laying down cement, and right there he's exactly where he needs to be and gets the bucket. Great job by Sue Cup and just the tie defense for moving the ball around.
Timeout taken out here on the floor. 28-21 with just over a minute to play in the first.
Bouillon burgers, fries, and shakes Oviedo Mall. Best burger you'll ever eat. It's worth the drive.
In this exciting game, we're only witnessing a 7-point deficit. Phenomenal guard play from both sides, and both teams coming out strong. One team is missing a coach, so it's going to be an interesting fact of the matter in the second half.
Brooks up with the left hand. Anthony Brooks getting to his spots. Had 22 points in their last game. He missed quite a few of them as well, but it seems like no time has been lost for him. Williams going the other direction now. Their leading scorer down low was fouled on the floor.
And that's a good job by AJ, understanding where his guys are on the court, realizing that at half court, and then pushing the pace and getting a foul. So now pushing them with a 3-point team foul. You know you can't get past that 5 foul limit, because that's where they start shooting. That's where things get problematic.
5-point game, and Williams throwing it down.
That's a great setup by Brooks, getting to his spot, giving the up fake so the guys can come in and dumping it off to his main man.
50 seconds on the game clock. It's a 3-point game. Young, left side, Doherty on the catch and shoot. And Williams pulling down a rebound there. 35 seconds to play in the first quarter. Other side, Johnson, who is one of the newer members of this Tide squad. He's been pretty dynamic for them off the ball in his first 2 appearances. The inbound to Johnson. Johnson from the right corner, up top, Brooks. Now Brooks will slow things down, guarded by Doherty. This is a shooter-on-shooter action, but Doherty plays some hard defense as well. They trap down low, Sukup, shot clock violation.
Phenomenal defensive possession by the Mighty Oaks. Jared Doherty showing off that 3-and-D side on that possession. Anthony Brooks is one of their premier guards. He knows how to handle the rock and get to his spots. Did a phenomenal job cutting that off, and as a team, forcing that shot clock violation, trying to build on that for their next defensive possession.
Young up top with 5 seconds on the game clock. Now he drives in, kicks it right. And Hayes, 10 in the quarter, no. So the Gainesville Mighty Oaks carry a 3-point lead as we go into the second quarter of action. Keep it here. 2 more games coming up after this one, but still a lot of gameplay left to go.
At Envy Labs, we build web applications that start with an idea. They move through strategy and need an outside eye ahead of wireframes and technical specifications. There's design and layout and functionality, but there's also performance, things like accessibility and data visualization. It all comes together for what ultimately is a successful launch. Over the past decade, Envy Labs has built platforms that pair things like data in sports or environmental science. We've built technical training platforms around data science and around network administration, and we've bootstrapped and sold our own product. We are a temporary CTO and an outside specialist in strategy, design, and development. It takes a lot to go from idea to launched web application, but it's all right there in our name. Reach out to hello@envylabs.com and let's take a look at your idea together.
It's a 3-point game as we start the second quarter of action from our bubble season here, just outside of Orlando, Florida. We're at our Winter Park location. It's not the most beautiful day ever outside, but it's always a beautiful day for basketball. There's the electrician inside, and Demirovic misses the shot. Johnson now has it going the other direction. Here's Brooks going to the left. Now looks right, surveying. Gets inside, comes to a stop. He passes right, and Sukup can't handle the shot right at his chest.
I love the approach Anthony Brooks has early on this game. He's getting into the seams, attacking the seams per usual. However, he's looking to dump it off to guys that are crashing and running that baseline. Right there, you saw Sukup unable to handle it, but he's been doing that the better portion of that first half, of that first quarter.
Young going right, pulling up, and he makes the shot.
Look at how deep he was able to get into that lane of the Tide defense. He was basically able to throw up a 3-foot chocolate float way up in the sky. Can't let that happen.
The bounce pass out to Brooks. Brooks now missed 3 of his last 4 threes. 5-point game. Right up top, Johnson. It was just left short. Alvin, is it easier to correct a shot if you're long on shots than if you're short? How does that work? Like when you were playing ball down low, there's the new guy for the team, Zell Murphy. But in basketball, is it easier to put more on a shot or take more off?
It's really the same, realistically, because if you shoot a shot and you know it's strong, you're like, okay, I can let up a little bit, just focus on the flick and change your trajectory a little bit. And then it's the same when you're short. If you're short and you're tired, it's a different story, because when you're tired,
Tamirovich on the catch and shoot.
And the family erupts. You love to see that from the electrician, expanding his game, stretching out that defense, and releasing that trifecta way up high.
Works the pump fake down to the left block. There's Williams inside. He couldn't get it to fall. Doherty now surveying the floor and off the hands of Young.
And you just love to see banter like that when a guy makes a mistake. No one's pointing the finger, but someone's taking accountability. That's leadership. That's a well-gelled team. That's good culture, and that's what you saw in that last play.
Well, that's the thing with Coach Stallworth, is he wants the people to buy into the culture of the team. It's not just basketball for him, it's the lifestyle.
And that's why I believe they're going to come out on top in this game. They have so much to offer. Love to see them play the game of basketball.
There's an air ball and a second chance miss. Johnson to the left. Now Young looking right, passing that direction. Underneath. Wow. Johnson cutting underneath the basket.
Jaquan Whitley in his bag with a no-look dime drop to a cutting Jonathan Johnson. Couldn't draw it up better.
Underneath, the stolen ball by Doherty. The pass ahead of Johnson, and Johnson putting it down! 8 points for Jonathan Johnson, the leading scorer for the Gainesville Mighty Oaks. Coming off a 23-point win with a poster in that game, and now he's got a jam in this one.
And gave us a wink at the end. That was smooth, high-flying basketball presented by yours truly.
I thought you were going to say something else, like presented by Mark King's energy drink of the day or something, you know?
I thought about it, but I was like, man, let me not get too carried away. Okay. First game, this is first dunk. We can't reward him with all that.
That's a good point. 9 minutes to play in the second quarter. It's a 10-point game. 37-27 the score. Gainesville Mighty Oaks still on top, and they have not relinquished this lead yet.
They're just doing a better job of getting great shots and making them, because St. Pete's doing a good job. They're getting shots, they're scoring the basketball. However, on the defensive end, they're not able to hold sturdy on the perimeter, and we're seeing them try to do too much front court action, and then you get back cut by a John Johnson. So it's going to be interesting to see how they handle that.
Nice take inside by A.J. Williams. It's almost like they cleared the lane for him.
Smooth game A.J. Williams plays with every week, and right there was no exception. Getting all the way to the rack, elevating, and a nice finger roll to kiss that one off.
Whitley, the steal, other side. And a nice put in by Zell Murphy. 4 points now for Murphy. And a timeout taken on the floor with 8.5 to play in the second quarter. The Gainesville Mighty Oaks lead by 6. They haven't let off the accelerator yet.
Hey, what is up, everyone? My name is Susie, and I'm a full-time partner streamer on Twitch.tv. I've made it my mission to help gamers win in every area of life. So whether it's helping you win in gaming by teaching the latest tips and tricks on whatever games you might be playing, helping you win in fitness through my daily fitness streams, or even just helping you win in your week, we're building genuine community, and we've got a place just for you. So I want to encourage you right now to follow me over at twitch.tv/SusieLive. I stream Tuesday through Saturday, starting at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, and we hope to see some of you soon.
And coming out of that timeout, you're seeing a couple of guys want to go back and forth with a couple of plays, and coach on the Mighty Oaks, and Coach AJ Stallworth is telling them to focus on the next play. Let's see what that looks like.
Demirovic, a second try for the three. Big men in the FBA shoot threes. Sukup is no exception to that as well. On the right wing, looking, now passing that direction. Williams fell down to the floor, just lost his footing there. Other side, Demirovic with the throw back. He tried a no-look pass back to Doherty, and it was stolen by Murphy. Here's Shane. The bounce pass to the right block. Williams guarded down there by Jaquan Whitley, a foul on the floor.
And that's a good job by AJ, recognizing that he has some size advantage there, banging with him down low, drawing the foul. And that's one thing that he does phenomenal. He's able to draw contact with the best of them, and that's just because of his frame and his tenacious mindset when it comes to the game of basketball.
Zell Murphy from the right wing. He switches, the bounce. Shane inside, behind the back pass to Sukup, who's able to lay it in from the right side.
Josh Shane with the highlight reel pass.
And then their Euro step into the lane on the other side by Jared Doherty.
Two teams deep in their bag. Only a 6-point discrepancy.
Romeo Edwards, that high arcing three-point ball does not fall. A 6-point lead.
He's been relatively quiet outside of that one take to the lane. He hasn't necessarily been as aggressive as he usually is offensively. And I wonder what that is, if that's more of a trying to let everybody play or what's going on in his head.
7 minutes to play in the second. There's the bank shot by Shane on the right side as he was falling to the baseline.
Love how Josh Shane's game just erupted as soon as he started to have that attack mindset. A true prototypical point guard likes to facilitate. Right there you see him getting aggressive and getting buckets.
Doherty short on the three, the pass ahead to Shane again. So Shane against Whitley, and Shane pulls up for a long two. And Murphy a rebound. Shane now a three. Good!
Did not relocate, trusted his jumper and trusted his team to get him that ball again, knowing he wasn't going to miss two in a row. Great job by Josh Shane.
He's now got 10. Young up top. Speaking of man, he's got 10. He's got 13 points already. Inside, Demirovic fouled and makes the shot. He's got 7.
You love that play by the Mighty Oaks. They're very guard heavy. They rely on their guards to make a lot of the plays and decision making, and then their forwards just do a fantastic job with Jonathan Johnson and Jaquan Whitley. Jared Doherty's in there as well. And on that play, you have two guys set either screen, and it's up to the guard to make a decision right there, taking Eden's side, and he rolled fantastically and made the play.
Shane lining up for another three. Demirovic the rebound. So Demirovic will be flirting with a double-double today.
Has to show out for Mons. Mons is in the stand. Have to make plays.
Doherty short on another three, so that's back-to-back threes where he was off the front side of the iron. Johnson inside, pulls up, and somehow makes a shot, kind of falling to the left. That's like, you know, when you're watching football plays and you're watching guys like Trey Lance and Justin Fields practice, and it's throwing the football to the right as you're going to the left. A shot like that,
Very difficult shot selection by Jonathan Johnson, but he's a very crafty and unorthodox player right there. You see him take his gather steps away from the basketball goal, leaning away, and he knocks it down. It works for him. That's how he gets his buckets. Romeo Edwards caught a body.
5 points for Romeo Edwards. Other side, Whitley misses the three, and it's out of bounds. Alvin, what you got?
Romeo Edwards is airborne, and that is a problem. Catching a body, demolishing the rim. That's why you love watching Romeo Edwards play the game of basketball. He has a 40-inch vertical, and he put all of those inches to the test. His elevator just goes a little higher than most.
His elevator went up to the 40th floor. A three-point game. Edwards guarded by Doherty. Now they will screen off. He goes left. Passes up top to Shane. Shane, the pump fake, now dribbling to the left side. Soup cup out beyond the arc. Big men shoot threes off the front side. Young pushing in transition other way. Hayes had that one knocked away. He just couldn't corral it in.
A triple team.
Yeah, Young to the right side. And Elijah Gray couldn't make the layup. A big fight for the rebound off of the Mighty Oaks. Wow, that's a hard possession when you're up by 3 points.
That is a tough possession. You got no one can really secure the basketball. It's all over the place, not taking care of it, and you just basically caught that one up.
Shane, left side. Now Romeo Edwards. Dory has one dunk. He stays in the air for a while. A great reverse under the basket.
He just levitates. Like as soon as he jumps, he's there to, he can double clutch, triple clutch, whatever he wants to do. He has that type of lift.
Up top, no good, up with the left hand. And a foul.
Both guys having deep conversations with the referees. On that one, definitely some contact. But this is what you get when you tune into FBA basketball. Some exciting play on both ends. Romeo Edwards elevating with the tomahawk slam to start this game off. Right now you have Elijah Gray coming in, hoping he can really knock some of that rust off and get some points on this board. And that is the first free throw he's made in the FBA. Doesn't come to the line often, so it's not like he's shooting one for oblivion. It's just more so not getting the attempts and wasn't able to knock him. But there he knocked both of them. Successful trip, and that's what you need. The Mighty Oaks shoot about 74% from the stripe. That's what you need to win basketball games.
So they are one of the top 2 best shooting free throw teams in the FBA, Alvin.
Very interesting. And outside of that flight loss, they would be at 500, so they would be definitely sitting comfortably in this this league. Just want to see them really put together a second half, because they're a first half team. You want to see them close games a little stronger than they have in the past.
Brooks pushing near side. Now they throw it left block. Bounce pass down low, knocked away.
Just love the hustle on this Mighty Oaks team. You see every ball, every bounce pass is being touched. Someone is getting a hand on something. Unless it's you do a lot to create that space, these guys are everywhere.
The bounce pass inside. Williams, the quick give up to Shane. Shane likes that spot on the left side, but missed that one.
Double team action on the block has proven successful for the Mighty Oaks.
Johnson has that one knocked away by Murphy. So Murphy the pass ahead to Shane. Shane off the backboard. And he wanted to have Romeo Edwards throw that one down. Alvin would have lost his mind, towing the line. Johnson, good.
Beautiful shot by Mr. Johnson. Lining that thing up. He had all the time in the world. Laced him up, got his fingers ready, banged it home. That's what you need from one of your premier stars in this league.
The foul on the pass, that'll go against Anthony Young. His first of the game.
Veteran move by Josh Shane. Drawing that contact, as soon as you initiate that push, when you feel that pressure, you let it go. Get that call.
It's interesting. We don't see too many, like the theatrics that you see in the NBA on foul calls, We don't see a lot of acting skills.
Definitely.
At least not yet.
And we don't want it to get as bad as the James Harden and 25 free throws, but it's definitely interesting to watch sometimes.
Young, another three. His fourth three of the game.
Wow. Anthony Young has dropped in 4 threes in this first half alone. Only missed one. 80% from beyond the arc. Anthony Young is slated to maybe drop 30 or 40. What are you feeling?
Good math skills, Alvin. I'm impressed.
Synapse inspires sometimes.
Yeah. Big math guy, Alvin Delvey. Actually, I asked the other day, someone asked me, you're doing broadcasting? Because I majored in math. My major in college, they were like, why'd you major in math? I told them it was for Jerry.
Jerry is the one who taught me how to do numbers, so it makes sense.
Jerry taught me how to read, actually. Fun fact.
So Jerry and I are from the same area, 239 Collier County, stand up. So when I was younger, Jerry was just one of those guys who wanted to show me the ropes, told me how to read, write. Jesse came along, he flew over to California to show Jesse the ropes as well.
Yeah, he taught me how to read, write, spell my name. It was great.
Tie my shoes. Godfather Jerbear.
How to blow my nose. Whitley up top for a three.
He taught Jaquan Whitley how to bang trifectas as well.
I don't doubt that at all. Now, if Jerry could just teach me how to make a three, that'd be awesome.
Right, guys. I saw the contracts in the league. LeBron James, the first athlete to make $1 billion in the NBA. I think I need Jerbear as my financial advisor.
I give Jerry all my money. He can manage everything. All my wealth, all my assets, which, there's not much right now, but
we're getting
that's why I'm giving it to Jerry. Hopefully expand one day. Also, a 12-point lead now for the Gainesville Mighty Oaks, Alvin, since we kind of went off on wherever we just went.
We got inspired by
Outer
Jerbear
Space
Productions.
We literally went to Toon World. We saw Bugs Bunny for a sec.
We stole Marvin Marston's ship and watched Jaquan Whitley bang down a three to give him a 12-point lead. But Josh Shane has other aspirations, knocking his free throws down. And that's what we mean. This game, the Mighty Oaks have a clear advantage. They're keeping their foot on their neck with the play that they've displayed so far.
There's a steal from Hayes. And now Hayes will pull up from down low. And that one knocked around, no good. Sell. Josh A.J. Williams, and he couldn't make the shot, but at least he goes to the line and shoots two. 54-43 the score with 1:21 to play in the second. 5 team fouls now on the Gainesville Mighty Oaks. That's one thing they've been having a lot of trouble with this season, Alvin, is getting into foul trouble.
Definitely, and that's because they play aggressive defense. You got a lot of guys that are football-esque type players. They want to get on you, they want to get in your space, and then they're going to get called for some of the touching fouls, and that's something that they've struggled with in this game, in this season so far. But it's worked for them for the most part. And on that last possession, I just can't help but notice cutting Romeo Edwards, just wanting that lob. Josh Shane was a little reluctant to do so, and that started some of the banter with this team, and that's what the Tigers does a good job of communicating their expressions and letting everyone know where they are, and that's helped them get to a stellar 7-2 record.
Williams now shooting better than 75% from the free throw line this season. A full court pass ahead to Edwards, who will pull it down baseline. Shane, Brooks, good ball movement. Murphy left wing three, good.
Moving the ball around the horn, that's proven successful by the basketball gods. Right there, the Tide taking a piece out of that playbook and getting a trifecta.
So we've talked a lot to head coach of the Winter Park Storm, Barry Mostel, and he says if at least 4 people touch the ball, you have a higher percent of getting a bucket. And we just saw that there. Whitley for 3. And Murphy the rebound, 30 seconds to play in the second. Down low, Romeo Edwards will corral that one in and almost went out of bounds. Very high pass for him. He dribbles down low, double team, right side, back out, Brooks. And easy give off to Shane. Left side, 7 seconds on the shot clock. Now in the left corner, there's Romeo Edwards for 3. Off the mark. Zell Murphy underneath with 7.5 seconds to play. Murphy now with 9 points. 5 seconds on the game clock. It's a 4-point game. Anthony Young and Elijah Gray will tap that one in. And now the Gainesville Mighty Oaks will carry in a 6-point lead to the half. 56-50. The last shot made by Elijah Gray, who's now got 4 points. The game not out of reach yet for the St. Pete Tide. So, like you were saying, Alvin, St. Pete, second half team. Gainesville comes out strong in the first, but hopefully they can weather the storm of St. Pete's second half. When we return after the half, we'll have a lot more basketball on the way, and stay tuned. The Brevard Bobcats and the Winter Park Stormer game 2, and the still undefeated Florida Flight and the reigning FBA champions. They're up in game 3 against the Tampa Gunners. So a lot of basketball left to play on a beautiful Sunday afternoon from Winter Park, just outside of Orlando, Florida. Stick with us. This is the FBA on YouTube and Facebook Live, presented by Poly Wealth Management.
Hey, what is up, everyone? My name is Susie, and I'm a full-time partner and streamer on Twitch.tv. I've made it my mission to help gamers win in every area of life. So whether it's helping you win in gaming by teaching the latest tips and tricks on whatever games you might be playing, helping you win in fitness through my daily fitness streams, or even just helping you win in your week, we're building genuine community, and we've got a place just for you. So I want to encourage you right now to follow me over at twitch.tv/SusieLive. I stream Tuesday through Saturday, starting at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, and we hope to see some of you soon.
World where one girl goes on endless adventures, gives you unbelievable toy unboxings, does insane food challenges, and plays way too much Roblox. It's Elle's Adventures. Subscribe now. Do it. Why not?
Holy cow, it's Nova Rex, the 80s legends.
I want the keto.
I want the double Diablo.
Cheddar bacon.
I'll take a double cheeseburger with extra cheese.
To go!
Here you go, boy. Hey guys, I play a little guitar myself. How about me joining the band? Show us what you got, man. What's up, dudes? What do you think?
Yeah, man, it's pretty good, but you need more hair.
But the Mooyah burgers were great.
Mooyah burgers rock!
Hey, what is up, everyone? My name is Susie, and I'm a full-time partner and streamer on Twitch.tv. I've made it my mission to help gamers win in every area of life. So whether it's helping you win in gaming by teaching the latest tips and tricks on whatever games you might be playing, helping you win in fitness through my daily fitness streams, or even just helping you win in your week, we're building genuine community, and we've got a place just for you. So I want to encourage you right now to follow me over at twitch.tv/SusieLive. I stream Tuesday through Saturday, starting at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, and we hope to see some of you soon.
We're back here for the second half of action. 56-50 the score. The Gainesville Mighty Oaks are up by 6. And St. Pete, who is a historical second half team looking to make a comeback here. Alvin, you got a chance to speak with, well, I usually say the coaches here at the half, but there's only one coach. So what did Coach Stallworth say about their performance in the first half, and how are they going to try to get better here in the second?
We are beating a dead horse when we talk about what Coach A.J. Stallworth is talking about with his team. They are a first half team. They had a phenomenal first half, but his message was very clear and it was very concise. We have to put together a second half in order to win ball games. They do a great job in the first half, and somehow in the second half their energy tapers off, and that's something he was looking to get going early as Jaquan Whitley finally gets a shot, a free throw call or a foul shot from the beyond the arc. So back to what Coach A.J. Stallworth was saying with his guys, just gumming together, knocking down the easy shots, because they're getting a lot of bunny plays, as Skip Bayless has coined, and that's just putbacks. Whereas Coach Stallworth wants them to just make the shot the first time, go through the contact and make it home. He likes how they're looking for their guys, and he's trying to do some things on the defensive end, like throwing a 2-1-2 press or different pressing, just because they don't have a coach on the other end. So it's going to be hard for them to really dial it up. Everyone is putting more strain on the facilitators of that team. So he just wants to do a better job of having energy in the second half and putting a second half better than the first.
Alvin, if you were a coach now for the St. Pete Tide, what would you have said to them at the half?
At the half, to just stay the course. They put a good product out on the court, put themselves in winning position. They're only down 6, and they're a second half team. So coming into the second half, you don't have to force anything. Just do what you usually do, and that's tighten up in crunch time situations. Continue to make plays, look for your guys, and do this as a team. You have your stars that's going to shine, and outside of that, all your role players become a star in that role. So for them, they're in good shape. Both teams are in good shape. This game is 100% toss-up. Coach Stallworth is trying to find a way to get his team activated and ready to go in the second half and become a closing team. Because you want to start out swinging, but you also want to build on that momentum and close even harder than you started.
Shot clock and a game clock malfunction here. Alvin, of all the guys on the Gainesville Mighty Oaks that we've seen this season, who has impressed you the most, or who has become one of their go-to guys?
So impressed me, there's 2 guys that off the top stand out to me, and that's Anthony Young and Jonathan Johnson. Both guys have completely different games. Anthony Young is just so skilled, it makes it hard to neglect his prowess with the basketball, versus Jonathan Johnson. He's just a two-way force. He's very unorthodox. He does things that it makes you question until it works, and you just like that. For instance, that shot he had in the baseline where he took his gather touch away from the rim, falling away, and shoots a jumper. You're thinking, why are you shooting this shot? But it goes in. He created the space, and he was able to knock down the jump shot. So he's very unorthodox. And then Anthony Young is just phenomenal. Ball handle, IQ, he's just exactly what you need from a guard. Decision making's there. So both of these guys really stood out to me. And I believe that Jonathan Johnson is more aggressive, just with his personality and the way he wants to play on the court. So he's taken that scoring role, whereas I believe if Anthony Young has that kill switch on him, he will have that same effect.
Whitley corralled himself from falling out of bounds, pulls up for a 3 right wing. And that one is just off to the left.
It's too little. Soup Cup getting that rebound.
Romeo Edwards underneath. Nice little bounce. Off the rim, a little shooter's touch. Romeo Edwards now with 8 points.
He plays a lot of basketball. Getting that to spin and kiss off the glass like that, that's a lot of work in the gym.
Demirovic trying to create some room against Soup Cup, and he missed the first shot, gets his own rebound. The reverse, no good. Knocked up. To A.J. Williams, now Williams up with the right hand. It's good, he makes it over Jonathan Johnson going backwards, but interesting thing is that shot you were talking about earlier where Johnson is kind of falling to his side, he kind of contorts himself, and it's one of those things where a coach, if you see it, they're like, uh-oh, please don't shoot that, but then he goes in and the sigh of relief, it kind of reminded me of that one Stephen Curry shot where he starts dribbling in and around everywhere. And you see Steve Kerr come off the bench with his hands up, and then Curry somehow pulls back and makes it the most miraculous three I've ever seen in my life. And Kerr just puts his hands on his head and just walks back to the bench and sits down. It's kind of fun to see those moments happen in basketball.
Definitely. It's one of those, oh no. Okay, I understand.
Thank the Lord.
You are that type of player. You are that guy. Definitely a high confidence shot. When guys are playing that way, it's hard to lose.
Ball knocked out of bounds. On the right, a 60-56 game. So 4-point lead for the Gainesville Mighty Oaks. St. Pete has not had a single lead in the ball game. Jaquan Whitley, the catch and shoot left corner. Romeo Edwards couldn't pull down the rebound. Second chance here for the Mighty Oaks. Doherty, the sharpshooter, left corner. Good! Jared Doherty with 8 points. That's the guy they need to get hot if they want to win this game.
And that's a smart job by Jaquan Whitley, getting that board, attacking the seam, and giving it his team another chance at a three-point shot, getting it to Jared Doherty into his spot. And Anthony Brooks doing what he does on the block, knocking down that nice spin-around jumper.
Brooks now with 6 points at 22 in their last game. Demirovich, a scoop into the basket from right underneath. He's got 11. So, like you were saying earlier, Alvin, he's putting on for his family. His sister and his mother are here from Europe. And a block down low by Johnson underneath.
That's 2 blocks in that matchup. I think Jonathan Johnson is winning in that regard.
Young from the right elbow, no good, knocked around. Shane, pass ahead to the Winter Park Storm, who are waiting to play their ball game.
Wanted Dom Douglas to get a jump shot. He was too busy sipping his pregame drink.
I mean, given if I want someone to take a shot from me, I'm looking at Dom.
I would definitely let him have a celebrity shot.
Absolutely. I'm a coach of a team. He can wear whatever jersey he wants as long as he's out on the floor for me. Johnson inside. A nice over and under scoop.
And that's one of those things he jumps from very far and finger rolls it and gets it off the glass. Very unorthodox. But man, oh man, is it fun to watch and is it smooth. Great shot by Mr. Johnson.
Sukup kind of looks like a dinosaur.
Which one?
T-Rex. We'll call him Rexy. Brooks up top. The dinosaur down low. Or actually, no, what was that? What's the dinosaur with the really long neck?
I want to say...
It's not like a Stephosaurus or anything, right? Stegosaurus? And a 3 hit on the left corner there. Anthony Brooks with 9 points.
Anthony Brooks sinking into that corner. The best shot in basketball outside of a dunk. Knocking down that corner 3. And just to go back to that dinosaur quote, it's just unfortunate. The 8-year-old me would be so ashamed to not know what the name of this, the long neck dinosaur. I feel like I should just rewatch Land Before Time.
That was a great movie, by the way. And underneath, there's A.J. Williams, now with 22 points. Gentlemen, Jerry, Alvin, we have our answer. It's a Brontosaurus.
Started with the B. Very happy. Everyone on there caught that.
It's the Brontosaurus. That's what Sukup is. He knocks that one away. And Sukup's so good at creating those steals, too. Brooks down low, and Williams putting it through. A 2-point game now, 67-65. 6 minutes and 45 seconds to play in the third.
Just love the game Anthony Brooks has displayed thus far, attacking, but looking for his guys. Right there, you see him do another great job of dime dropping, and A.J. Wood's been the beneficiary of most of those dimes dropped.
Whitley steals the ball back from St. Pete, who could have had a easy basket in transition, and Young falls down to the ground. He was fouled by the Brontosaurus himself.
That name will stick.
So, if Jerry was a dinosaur, what would he be? He's not a T-Rex. I'll tell you that right now. He's a Triceratops. 100%. That was easy. That was way too easy.
I was trying to think of Jurassic Park, some of those, because who would be a raptor? I want to know who would be a raptor.
Mark King.
Mark King's a raptor. With the one that they cultivated in the basement of the Jurassic World. Oh, man. He's always in the middle of it, too.
Yeah, but you mentioned The Land Before Time. I have not seen that movie in probably 15 years.
Yeah.
It was pretty sad at the beginning, too. It was like, okay, not to be a spoiler alert, but doesn't the mom die at the beginning or something?
And then they have no food. They have to leave.
Oh,
like, it's all,
man.
And I remember watching when it would get rained out because
Johnson elevating from the left side to make the mid-range.
Mid-range jumper package has been upgraded. Jonathan Johnson getting buckets on buckets. But back to what we were talking about with this Land Before Time.
He's back in it, a foul on the floor.
I remember, because I grew up in Florida, so hurricane season was real. Recess was always canceled.
Oh, I thought you were going to be like, I found dinosaur bones because it's Florida or something. You never know what you're going to find in Florida, Alvin.
You never know.
You don't.
It could be a chicken bone, could be a raptor. You just come with that
Neanderthal.
And especially with these sinkholes, you could get pretty low in the ground. So I remember as a kid, they'd wheel in that fossil of the TV on that cart, roll it in, and we would watch it. And I just remember being so sad. Like, why are we watching? Like, I know it's raining out, but we don't have to watch someone's mom die. Like, this is not necessarily how I'm in 3rd grade. Like,
yeah, you're literally 8 or 9 years old and having to deal with the harsh truth of the dinosaurs. Hayes up top, good on the 3.
Jabari Hayes banging down trifectas. He's shooting them in at about 37 or 33%. Banging home that trifecta, doing a great job getting his looks. Everyone's confident on this team as a unit. They're knocking it in at about 30%. Sticking to that percentage right there.
Down low, first shot blocked. And the ball goes out off of Gainesville. The St. People get it back. It's back to a 6-point lead for the Gainesville Mighty Oaks with 5.5 minutes exactly to play in the 3rd quarter. 72-66 the score. Josh Shane spinning in on Hayes. He got hot last game, the Brontosaurus. Left wing. He couldn't hit the 3. They'll pass it ahead. Hayes, right side. Whitley. Off.
You know what's funny about Whitley? He needs someone to make a 3 on the other end so his sharpshooting badge can get activated.
Hayes, the pass left, now back inside. Hayes double team. Johnson pump fakes from the free throw stripe. And the shooter's touch as it bounces in.
All the way around the rim off of a jab step. Love the game he's playing with.
Romeo Edwards tried to take it all the way up with the right hand, and he couldn't get it to fall. 4 minutes and 40 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. Tension starting to rise in the building. A foul and a made shot. Jonathan Johnson, as usual, putting the team on his back. 21 points from Bethune-Cookman.
Great physicality by Jonathan on that one. You have Anthony Brooks flying to contest that one. Great job elevating above the rim to get that one to go up and in.
Wow, we started. You're having a good time if you bring up the Land Before Time.
We brought up Land Before Time, Jurassic World,
I swear that
Jerry.
has not crossed my mind in years.
Not at all until you started talking about dinosaurs.
And you know what's funny is I think I actually used to own it on, like, VHS.
You had the cassette.
DVD. Yeah, I had the cassette.
Oh, man. We are aging ourselves. That's actually something we could say now.
What is that?
Oh, Jerry. I think that was Jerry's first time on the mic this season.
I think that needs to happen more often.
Richards up with the left hand. He couldn't make it. Brontosaurus bringing it down. Romeo Edwards now up top. An 11-point lead for the Gainesville Mighty Oaks. This has been their biggest lead of the ball game. Williams underneath the screen. And Edwards couldn't tip it in. And Suka, the dinosaur, putting it through. Back to a 9-point lead for the Gainesville Mighty Oaks.
And he does such a great job defensively. We sometimes overlook what that means offensively. Right there, being aggressive on the offensive board, getting that to go up and in.
Johnson in the left corner against Williams. He's the 2 best players in the game against each other. He gives it up in a big block by Williams against the glass. Hayes pulls down the rebound, falls to the ground. Couldn't make the shot from the right block. And now a foul as we have players tangled up on the floor.
And that is what A.J. Williams does. A great block on the defensive end. And it looks to see It looks like he's going to start taking off, and a mode has been switched in his mind, and he's going to go.
77 to 68, still the score with 3 minutes and 43 seconds to play in the third. 343. They make my 343 Industries album makes one of my favorite video games. What is it?
Wow, this is a trivia question.
Yeah, we'll do trivia. Is Romeo Edwards goes inside and is fouled. So 343 Industries makes one of my favorite video games.
I'm going to phone a friend, and his name is Jesse.
Oh, there you go. Who is it? What is it? Favorite video game? No, well, actually, it's not my favorite video game. Top 3.
Top
franchise.
3?
And I'll let you know it's a franchise. It's not a standalone game.
Okay.
It's a franchise.
I'm just going to go on a limb and say Assassin's Creed.
Oh, close. That is one of my top 3 favorite video games. But no, that is made by Ubisoft.
Okay. Wow, this is a tough one.
Think Xbox specific.
Xbox.
For all the gamers out there.
Is that Rocket League?
No, that is Epic Games. That's also top 3.
Halo.
Oh, Jerry!
Dare Bear comes in.
I've been on the mic twice and he said 2 perfect statements.
Just a gold mine. He's a walking gold mine. So there we have it.
Yeah.
Halo.
It's the Halo franchise, 343 Industries.
You learn something new every day.
Yes, you do.
So on this broadcast, we learned about dinosaurs, we learned about weather, we learned about sinkholes, and we learned a little bit about...
We're broadcasts for all types of people, the old and the young.
And you learned something.
Hey, if I don't learn something new about basketball, I'm going to learn something new about life.
Definitely.
Every time I show up to call a game. And you know who is the best professor of all?
Who?
Mr. Jer Bear sitting in my lap. The professor.
Professor Dare.
No, he's just the professor.
Nothing. We don't need anything after that.
He's just the
professor. You know who it is. He has that type of clout.
Oh, man.
Who's Gilligan?
Dare Bear once again.
Whitley, the hesitation step out beyond the arc. A no-look pass down low, and Hayes using the backboard to bang that one home.
Wow, the electrician looking a little bit like the Joker with the no-look pass on a cutting Jabari Hayes. Phenomenal offensive display by the Mighty Oakton by none other than the electrician, Eden.
10-point lead for the Gainesville Mighty Oaks as St. Pete will have to take a timeout. 79 to 69. A lot more basketball on the way, but Gainesville not letting up this lead. Can they finish this one out? We'll find out in just a second.
Unbelievable.
A 10-point lead as we come out from the media timeout break. 2:43 to play in the third. And a 10-point lead for the Mighty Oaks as A.J. Williams is set to inbound and he finds Richards. So Richards bringing the ball up the floor, dribbling with his left behind the back pass to Sukup up top. Sukup faked the handoff to Johnson, now inside Richards. Over Demirovic, and he makes the shot with his left hand, an 8-point game.
Good job being comfortable on that block by Richards, just getting there, getting to the spot, and being available to find the rock.
Inside, Jonathan Johnson with a little floater.
Way up in the sky. Mr. Johnson throws the chocolate float way up high. Great job getting that up and in.
So here's Richards from the right side. He passes out. Williams down low. And that goes out of bounds. St. Pete having a tough time. They have 19 turnovers to just 15 assists. They're shooting 27% from beyond the arc. That kind of matches up with their season average, just a little bit better on their season average. 4 of 15 from beyond the arc in this ball game, and a 10-point lead. And another turnover there. So now 20 turnovers already, and you know, Alvin, we always say try to keep the turnovers under 10, and they've doubled that already, and still a fourth quarter to play. Jaquan Whitley hits the three from the right side.
Money quarter is the third quarter. Jaquan Whitley is doing his part, doing his 1/5 to make sure they could win this quarter. And going back on that turnover percentile, they're averaging just as much turnovers as they are assists. So every assist they get, you're expecting a turnover, and that's not a good stat for a basketball program. You want to definitely have way more assists than turnovers, because the goal is to pass for your guys, look for your guys. But if every time you look for a guy, it turns into a turnover, you're going to have a lot of more ISO ball one-on-one plays, and that's going to get guys less involved, and that can impact the defensive aggression as well.
Four team fouls now on the Mighty Oaks. Williams shooting perfect from the free throw strike today.
Love to see that. Taking free throws serious, especially in a game when you're down 11, unfamiliar territory. You want to be stout from the line.
Hayes, few dribbles inside the give up, and Demirovic with a plethora of bodies around him. Now with 13 points.
One-handed snag by Jaquan Whitley.
Whitley the bounce pass, Demirovic, the lay-in. 1 minute to play in the third, and Gainesville is starting to feel it a little bit. Demirovic with 15 points, and he's really showing out for his family. Right corner, Edwards, Johnson, now inside, and the finger roll is no good.
To go back to that last 4-point swing by the Mighty Oaks, you have phenomenal ball movement. Everyone touches the rock at least once. A cutting Jabari Hayes gets his defender up in the air, drops it off to the electrician, gets a bucket. You think it's done there? It's not. Jaquan Whitley has something else to say. Looking like Ed Reed reading that pass, gets a one-handed snag between Ed Reed and Odell Beckham. I don't know it, but Jaquan Whitley gets a one-handed snag and a nice clean dunk off to Eden, the electrician, electrifying the basketball, sizzling the nets in front of his parents, having a game. Love to watch the basketball that these two teams are putting forth.
I love how you always throw in a football reference there. Odell Beckham, OBJ, Ed Reed.
You have to, because that was just great.
Who's your favorite football player, Alvin?
Wow, that was tough. So I'm a UM guy, so got to be Ed Reed, because I played safety because of, not because of him, but I emulated my game behind his. Just, he had a lot of fun. So Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu, Ray Lewis, Ricky Williams, from like the growing up, and now you got to have Jarvis Landry, Lamar Jackson. There's so many guys. Odell, he has to be up there. Aaron Rodgers, Pat Mahomes, Tyreek Hill. There's like I watch football so much that basically I have such a long list. But just to name a few, Xavier Howard on some defensive ends. So yeah, for all you football heads out there, I know you guys are loving the list.
You know who my favorite football player of all time is?
Who?
Patrick Willis.
Oh, that's a good one. A linebacker play, very physical. Takes heads off down low.
Right side, Doherty off the mark. Here's Demirovic. Demirovic, the no-look pass inside. Johnson fouled. He's so good at finishing those down low. And now he gets to the line in a 15-point lead. Well, Johnson shooting well this game. On the other side, A.J. Williams, 26 points already, Alvin. 15 rebounds and 3 assists.
Wow. A.J. Williams is having himself a game, but that does not sizzle or douse the fire of Jonathan Jones. Right there, you see a no-look pass by the electrician, just doing a great job facilitating, looking literally like the Joker, getting with all these no-look passes and dimes dropped. and Jonathan Johnson able to facilitate, finish, get the and one play, and give his team a comfortable lead.
So Johnson doing well so far. He's got 27 points out of it.
27 within 3 quarters, and he is not letting up.
A 3 from Richards. And to keep it from going out, 9 seconds left to go. On the other side, Dominic Johnson couldn't put it back in, a pump fake. Williams, that one bounces in with 0.7 seconds to go. So they'll just inbound the ball. They're not gonna get a shot off in time. 91-77, Gainesville running away with this one, and not the same St. Pete Tide team with the energy we are used to seeing, but we still have one more quarter of action, so they could turn it on with the flip of a switch. Stick with us. 2 more games coming up right after this one, but a lot more basketball to play here.
At Envy Labs, we build web applications that start with an idea. They move through strategy and need an outside eye ahead of wireframes and technical specifications. There's design and layout and functionality, but there's also performance, things like accessibility and data visualization. It all comes together for what ultimately is a successful launch. Over the past decade, Envy Labs has built platforms that pair things like data and sports or environmental science. We've built technical training platforms around data science and around network administration, and we've bootstrapped and sold our own product. We are a temporary CTO and an outside specialist in strategy, design, and development. It takes a lot to go from idea to launched web application, but it's all right there in our name. Reach out to hello@envylabs.com and let's take a look at your idea together.
(91-77) as we go into the 4th quarter. And Alvin, what is going wrong here for St. Pete?
They're not able to make adjustments. Coaches matter, and there's nothing to say against the players. The players are playing a nice style of basketball. You see Josh Shane getting to the seam right there, and they played hard, they played well. However, they're not able to adjust, and that's what the Mighty Oaks have done so well in this game. They actually stayed true to their game plan. They built a better second half than their first. They played better as a unit in the second half. And this is the start of a new chapter for them. Right there, Jared Doherty getting some contact and getting that going up and in. But Mighty Oaks is just doing a fantastic job of building and closing this game out. And you see them running away with this lead, and that's just a testament to how hard they played.
Whitley for 3. Oh, yes! Jaquan Whitley hitting a couple threes today, now with 17 points.
And that was a wise decision by Jared Doherty. He was at the block, and Whitley was going to give him a bullet of a pass, but he said, nah, shoot that. Shoot. This is your game. This is your spot. Jared and Jaquan Whitley answered the call and banged home the trifecta.
Catch and shoot from Brooks. And Mirovich, the rebound.
Eden got so many nicknames. The electrician, a glass cleaner, and I think now he's going to start getting the Joker because he plays the game so well. He has a lot of different facets to his game. Very smart player. Does a lot.
Whitley fading away on the 3. Here's Johnson. A pass ahead to Murphy. And Murphy up with the right hand. It's good. Murphy now with 11 points. Ball goes back the other direction. Johnson inside. Now they pass it back to him. found his footing, and a big rebound there by A.J. Williams, who's shooting super efficiently today, 11 of 17 from the field, and perfect from the charity stripe. Brooks, good on the three.
He's not going to miss too much of them. Anthony Brooks is a former 30-point dropper, so he knows how to get buckets, very clean with his dribble, knows how to attack seams, smart IQ, can't leave him open beyond the arc.
Doherty spinning. And Johnson tried to come down low for the putback and couldn't get it to fall. Well, Jonathan Johnson, 27 points, Alvin, 12 of 16 from the field and 75%. Shooting 75% from the field, but his team up by 12, and this is honestly a welcome sight for Coach Stallworth. He's been looking for this kind of a lead going into the fourth quarter for a while.
Definitely, and definitely based on what their history is as a team, they've struggled in the second half, and this was the perfect team in a perfect situation, the perfect storm, so to speak, for the Mighty Oaks and their game plan going forward. This is what they need to do going forward, just building on their first half, and you watch them do that. They're still facilitating, they're still playing as aggressively as they usually do, and they're handling the wave that this Tide is putting on in the third very well. They're putting different looks on them, giving them different things to worry about, and keeping them uncomfortable, and it's worked for them thus far.
You mentioned uncomfortable there. As a basketball player, is your goal to kind of make people a little uncomfortable with their jump shot? Is that, like getting in their head at all?
100%, 150%. If I could make it even higher, I would. That's basically the name of the game. That's why when you see guys shooting a jump shot, you put a hand at their belly button. It's just something to make you take a second off your form or just slow you down a little bit. Guys pull each other's pants down. Like, that's little things like this, elementary school tactics. Usually just do a little, just to distract you from the game just a little bit. Just a little mind game could be dramatic. And you make a play on someone, you remind them what you just did to them, and you talk throughout the game. Little things like that can shift the game so much. That's why you look at guys like Michael Jordan, who talk a lot of trash. Gary Payton. A lot of guys who talk a lot of trash are very successful.
Williams going coast to coast, bringing the lead back to 10 for the Mighty Oaks.
Anthony Brooks literally looking like Troy Polamalu on that play. Undercuts that one, tries to make that read, doesn't get there in time, and was trying to make the highlight tackle. Unfortunately, we are not on the gridiron.
Johnson right up top. And the screen from Nemirovic. Now he goes left block, pulls up his dribble. Looking to the right, now Anthony Young. Ball in his hands, throws it to Jared Doherty. Doherty dribbled it out of bounds.
Unable to handle the spice on that ball. One of the many turnovers this team is accustomed to having, averaging about 22 turnovers per game. However, they're slightly better with assists.
Johnson to the inside. Now Williams will take his time. Two best players going against each other right now, and Johnson, or excuse me, that's Williams, wins that battle. Johnson now has a chance to go the other direction, but Eden Nemirovic, so they'll get down low. He's fouled, made the shot, slicing through the lane, and Brooks called for the foul. That was a great call by the officials there. Alvin, are you laughing? Are you crying? What is your reaction here?
A little bit of both. The Joker has pulled a trick out of his hat. I did not know he had a handle like that. So he's between the legs, slashing and dashing, getting to the lane with the and one. Mom's taking pictures. Mom loves it. Eden's playing out of his mind right now.
Call was made by Jason Vinson, wearing number 8. He's the crew chief for this first game here, and he's joined, as always, by Mike Rivera wearing number 34 and Vince Apolloni's wearing number 21. And these guys always doing a good job for us from right call officials. So we appreciate having them at our games. A 10-point lead. for the Gainesville Mighty Oaks here in the fourth. And Mirovich has not made a free throw yet today.
And as a ref, it's just really hard as
Williams going coast to coast.
Just so dynamic in transition.
Doherty, other side, and Williams a big block. And Coach Stallworth thought that was goaltending. And a three hit by Shane on the other side. The lead cut to 5 for the Mighty Oaks.
And this is a situation where you just wish you had a camera on or a mic on AJ Stallworth.
Lead back to 7. Shane double team by Demirovich and Young. Young reaching in. And a timeout taken by St. Pete with 7:21 to play in the fourth quarter. St. Pete sort of making a run as we're coming down to the wire, and a 7-point deficit for St. Pete, who's not going away anytime soon.
Fries and shakes Oviedo Mall. Best burger you'll ever eat. It's worth the drive.
Big block by A.J. Williams keeps it a 7-point game.
Definitely interesting. And that block just ignited the Mighty Oak team. Everyone from the top of the roster to the bottom had an emotion about that play.
And Coach Stallworth leading the charge as always.
And that's something that they can build on, because usually when you have a common enemy, it builds your bond. So that play, and for them to come on that play and have a Josh Shane trifecta, let's see how they react to that.
What is the old saying? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Brooks fading away. Off the mark, and the putback made down low by Williams.
A.J. Williams had himself a fantastic game. 3 blocks and just been aggressive offensively with that attack first mindset. It's been working for him.
6 minutes and 45 seconds to play. Doherty going right. The bounce pass down low and a kick ball. Off of St. Pete. That'll go against Anthony Brooks. It was off his foot. Brooks has 4 personal fouls, Alvin.
And that's something that you're going to have to pay attention to, especially because he is one of those guys that's facilitating for your team. He gets everyone involved, so everyone gets some of that wealth. You don't want him to get fouled out of this one.
Young dancing, stepping back. Ball knocked around and Brooks pulls down the rebound. He'll throw ahead to Williams. Williams looking ahead in traffic, now getting past Anthony Young. The ball just bounces out, but he draws the foul.
Smart play. You don't want to give him a head of steam to the basket, but is it really that smart? He's been 100% from the line, so it's still 2 points anyways. If he makes those 2 shots, then it's not a good foul. What you ideally would want is to see that guy slide in front and draw that charge. However, that is such a tall order when you have 6'6", 230-pound A.J. Williams barreling downhill. Most guys like to stay out of the hospital.
Williams swishing that one through, and Williams this season shooting over 75% from the free throw stripe, but today has been perfect.
He knows what needs to happen. He's been down this whole game. Right now they're only down 4, trying to give his team that little edge, and that comes from the stripe.
Called the charity stripe for a reason. That one bounces in. Williams now 8 for 8. The lead is cut to 3 for the Mighty Oaks. They got a score here. Catch and shoot from Whitley. Good!
Just what the doctor ordered. The lead is getting a little bit slim. Jaquan Whitley bangs home yet again another trifecta.
Johnson the steal as he looks ahead. Johnson against Brooks. Doherty underneath. And Johnson couldn't finish the putback. He'll go left and is fouled. Under 6 minutes to play now in the fourth quarter. 103 to 97. A 5-point game. No, 6. I can count. It's 6. I gotta go back to Jerry's math school real quick.
Math Academy?
Yeah.
The Professor Academy.
Yeah.
And on that one, Jonathan Johnson's able to get attempt at the line, but you see Jaquan Whitley doing a little dance at the three-point line, letting everybody know he's there, he's camping, he's ready for a shot, and coming down the stretch, you're going to see a lot more of him knocking down these trade balls. He has a clutch gene, makes plays when they need to be made.
Johnny Johnson
gets that one to roll all the way around the rim. Not enough can be said about his motor and what he brings to this Mighty Oaks team.
Johnson preparing for his second shot. He's 4 for 4 from the free throw stripe. Now has 29 points. Murphy, left side. Johnson dribbling in, steps back, blocked! Tag team of Johnson and Young. And now here's Young going the other direction. Still out beyond the arc, now dribbling in. Shane will step up to play the defense, man-to-man defense by St. Pete here. Go to the left side. Doherty off the mark. And Murphy the rebound. They'll throw ahead to Dominic Johnson, and Dominic Johnson wrapped up and drew the foul, made the shot.
Definitely not a good foul, and Coach AJ agrees with my sentiment. You have a smaller guy attacking the basket. You just want to see Elijah Gray jump up and meet him at the backboard. He's bigger, he's stronger, he can get up there, he has good lift to him. You want to see him get that one off the glass, but he's getting some much-needed rest.
It's only the second made basket by Johnson this game. Apparently he makes them when they matter.
Clutch guy, a real leader for this organization.
The stolen ball by Brooks. Brooks underneath, and he banks it in. It's a 3-point game.
Very smooth to stretch that long arm out of there and flip it up while your head's on the other side of the basketball. It's no easy feat.
Johnson on the other side. Now over the 30-point margin. 5-point game again with under 5 minutes to play. Ball goes out. And now here come the Gainesville Mighty Oaks, who are hunting for a basket.
The Mighty Oaks are coming off of a loss. They lost by 1 point, and that came in late in the fourth quarter. So right now, they're in familiar territory where a team is just clawing back, and they're just trying to find enough willpower, enough skill to stave that effort off. Let's see if they can pull that one off.
Good guard by Shane, and he wanted to screen, now throws it to the right. Whitley, a 3. Got it!
Big time players make big time plays. Jaquan Whitley having a night to remember. Morning to remember.
And a foul inside Brooks. They'll count the basket. Quite a few finishes on fouls for St. Pete. They've been so good at that the whole season, though. I think, you know, we're talking about the keys to their success. And not a thing that people think about a lot is making the baskets when you're fouled.
Definitely. You want to have the and one. You should not rely on the refs to save you from that basket. And that's something growing up playing ball, that's what our coaches used to always talk about and really beat the drum on is if you get fouled on a layup, it should be an and one. You should carry your guy through the rim. And that sounds very crazy, but then you look at it in full effect today and look at the game that we're witnessing. Guys finishing through contact, it means a little bit more when you get that opportunity.
So the score will be reverted back to 102. So they'll say it was on the floor, but it was, oh, it's in the bonus. So some deductive reasoning there. The foul was on the floor, but they're in the bonus now. Brooks is shooting too, even though he made the shot. They waved off the shot.
Oh,
but he makes a pair.
That's how you make it make sense. Jerry Academy is working full effect. And you're going to see them get into a 2-1-2 press to finish this game out.
Johnson spinning down low. Down to Doherty, who missed the first one and the second one. Brooks now fouled from behind, and that's more free throws.
That's a great look by Eden, drawing the defense out and giving a nice little pocket for Doherty. Wasn't able to finish that. And right now, it's crunch time. You need all your gimmies. Jaquan Whitley trying to get his main man out of the slump and get their head right, because right now, this is where the Mighty Oaks struggle. Late in the fourth quarter, this is where teams typically get the advantage on the Mighty Oaks, and they know it. They sense it. The Mighty Oaks have been talking about this for this whole game. Even at halftime, this is something they're paying attention to. So right now, they get an opportunity to right their wrongs, rectify their wrongs, and do a good job of closing. And on the other end, the St. Pete Tide, even without a coach, the players understand that this is winning time. Guys are starting to make their shots. They're looking for each other. They're communicating. And they have all the weapons necessary to win this ball game.
110 to 106, 4 minutes exactly to play in the fourth quarter. Johnson to Whitley. Now Whitley will get a screen from Johnson, pulls back for a long three. And a great job by Johnson being aggressive on the rebound, saving it from going out of bounds and throwing it off of the leg of Shane.
Hustle plays. That's effort right there, and that's what you need to win ball games.
Can you teach hustle, or do some people just, naturally have it?
You can kind of teach it, but it's hard. It's the player, it's the type of player you are, because that's not going to show up in the stat sheets. That's just pure willpower. You want to win the game, you do what needs to be done.
Young, the bounce pass down low, and Johnson elevating and throwing it down for a 6-point lead.
That's what you love to see. Johnson being aggressive, elevating and slamming it down, giving his team some momentum to eradicate this lead they have.
3.5 minutes to play. Demirovic inside, now out beyond the arc, pulls up for a three. That's off to the right. Brooks, the other direction. The scooping is good.
Smooth basketball by Brooks. Handling the trap, going coast to coast and getting a great look at the basket.
Lead cut to 4. Young running the point, guarded by Brooks, going right. Underneath, and he'll scoop it up and in.
Lulled him to sleep and exploded and got super close to the lane, able to lay that one up and in. Great handles by Anthony Young.
Shane, underneath. Good ball movement there. Brooks guarded by Hayes. Turns around. And Zal Murphy from the right block.
Offensive boards have proven worthwhile for the Tide, able to get another opportunity to get that one up and in.
Salman, I said the over-under was going to be 225. We're right at that mark now. 225.5.
And you said over, correct?
I said the over. That's going to be over. 1 minute and 55 left to go. A.J. Williams all the way to the rack. And Alvin Williams now 40 points, 20 rebounds. And A.J. Stallworth is going to have to take a timeout. His team only up by 2 with 1 minute and 46 to play. Unbelievable. What a score And what a run by St. Pete, who we never counted them out. And you should never count out the Tide's effort and heart to will themselves to a victory. Gainesville trying to hold on to get back into the win column. We'll see.
Hey, what is up, everyone? My name is Susie, and I'm a full-time partner and streamer on Twitch.tv. I've made it my mission to help gamers win in every area of life. So whether it's helping you win in gaming by teaching the latest tips and tricks on whatever games you might be playing, helping you win in fitness through my daily fitness streams, or even just helping you win in your week, we're building genuine community, and we've got a place just for you. So I want to encourage you right now to follow me over at twitch.tv/SusieLive. I stream Tuesday through Saturday, starting at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, and we hope to see some of you soon.
Points, 21 rebounds for A.J. Williams. And Anthony Brooks also adding on 19 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. He's got 8 points just this quarter. So Anthony Brooks, his stats really showing up late in this ballgame, Alvin.
Well, yes, of course. If you're Anthony Brooks, you can't come out in some fire socks as he's coming out and not show out when it matters. Anthony Brooks doing a phenomenal job of getting buckets and getting them when they matter. Under 2 minutes in this game, it's a 2-point lead.
There's a stolen ball. Shane looking ahead. Edwards out left side. Edwards against Young, and now Edwards gets baseline. And he was pushed out of bounds. So that'll mean 2 shots for a chance to tie up the ball game with 1.5 minutes to play.
Huge free throws for Romeo Edwards. And this is the situation that the Mighty Oaks are used to. Guys, they're coming back with a vengeance. The Tide is surging right now. You have guys making buckets late in this game. You have a 42-piece coming off the hands of A.J. Williams. So for the Mighty Oaks, they have to find a way to get buckets, because you can play great defense, but in crunch time, you do have to score.
Romeo Edwards makes both of those to tie this ball game up. So here's Anthony Young in a tie ball game. Steps back. Johnson, left side, the fadeaway. And that one's just off. Hayes underneath, gets the rebound. They got a second chance. Inside. Down to the left, Hayes pulling back. And he couldn't make that one either. Brooks, a big rebound. And he'll find his outlet to Edwards. Ahead on the floor, it's a 3-on-1. Edwards, left side. Williams for the lead. That's the first lead of the ball game for the St. Pete Tide. 116 to 114 with 40 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. Gainesville has to make a basket here. Anthony Young out beyond the arc, guarded by Edwards. Right side. Hayes almost caught Murphy in the air there. Could have drawn a foul. Demirovic trying to spin in. And the ball's tipped away. And a timeout taken by head coach A.J. Stallworth. 24 seconds left to play in the fourth quarter. We're going to keep it here for this break. Alvin, Gainesville gave up a lead. Their lead was at 15 at one point in the game. What happened?
And that's just the effort of the Tide. They came back and guys started making difficult shots and getting great looks at the basket, and they were able to knock them down. And on the other end, the Mighty Oaks, they would make plays, but just not enough. And you saw in that last possession, they got good looks, but the Tide just know how to win basketball games. The guys are playing great defense. You got Romeo Edwards playing phenomenal defense on Anthony Young. So now it's going to be a tail of the tape. Is going to be trying to get one of these guys off of a screen. They're going to have that double screen that they ran early, or some type of a screen action that was working for them in the first half. But the Tide did a great job of adjusting. That's just a testament to the IQ of these players. Guys stepping up in that huddle over there making the right adjustments. And for the Mighty Oaks, they have to find a way to get a bucket. You're down 2 points with 24 seconds left. You have to get a bucket. You have to find a way to push this game to overtime or get that a foul call and one call.
So Gainesville gets the ball from the baseline, right side of the basket. Two seconds on the shot clock. It's an inbound and a quick catch and shoot. And it goes right off the hands of Anthony Young and out of bounds. It's an unlucky break. Shot clock is off, Alvin. St. Pete crawled all the way back out of the hole that they put themselves in and are hunting for another victory. Gainesville, this would be a tough one to drop. The inbounds, the chuck up to Edwards. Edwards, foul.
And that is a huge blow to this Mighty Oaks organization. You get a good look. You have the ball on your half of the court, down to a lot of basketball left to play, and you're not able to get the inbound to get a shot off. You want to at least get the shot off, and you can live with the result. But a huge turnover on that end, and now you have St. Pete shooting two, and he misses the first. That gives you an opportunity. Now it's only 3, so you're still very well in this game. It's 21 seconds. There's a lot of basketball that can be played. T-Mac scored 13 in 30 seconds. If you could do something like that, this is a lot of basketball to play. You have options. You can draw some things up, but the biggest thing is to score. You have to get good looks. You have to get points on this board.
21.5 seconds to go. Romeo Edwards from the line. Nice little bend of the knees there as he makes the second one. And a timeout taken on the floor. Well, Alvin, Romeo Edwards coming up big late in the ball games, but just these late runs that all these guys on St. Pete have, they just catch fire in the third and fourth quarter. And like you said, that's how you become a second half team. The guys get hot late.
Exactly, and that's what you want to see from your stars. And if you look over at their huddle, they don't have a coach. However, you got the leaders in the middle, and they're really leading this team. And successful teams are player-led. And right now you see guys telling each other to calm down. We're in a good spot. And on one end, you see a lot of hope and passion. On the other end, you see guys are trying to figure out a way to just overcome this deficit and this second half woes that they've been facing all season.
Romeo Edwards now with 12 points, 4 of 11 from the field, but 4 of 6 from the free throw line today. So that puts his team up by 3 late here in the game, 117 to 114. How about A.J. Williams, though, in this ball game? He's been an absolute nightmare for the Gainesville Mighty Oaks to control. They have not seemed to put a lid on anything that he's done. 44 points, Alvin, to go along with 21 rebounds.
That's Hall of Fame numbers. You're putting up 42 points and 20 rebounds. Like, that's just hard to say. That's just tenacious, relentless effort by A.J. Williams, and he really willed his way to this team to this victory. He played phenomenal defense, getting 3 blocks, all of them off the glass. Just a real hat. You have to take your hat off to him.
15 seconds to go. They should get the ball to Jaquan Whitley. He's shooting 40% from beyond the arc. And Anthony Young getting down low. Now they got to foul immediately. And they don't. What are they doing? They have to foul. 5.5 left on the clock.
They did not want to put Josh Shane on the free throw strike, and they wanted Romeo Edwards back, so they are trying to not foul him. However, that may prove costly, but the only time will tell. They have 5 seconds left, hoping for a miss early. If you're the Mighty Oaks, you want him to miss the first free throw, because then he has to make the second free throw. Versus he makes the first free throw, he misses the second free throw, and now you have less time.
Well, what I was going to say is, even though they didn't want to foul Josh Shane, it took an extra couple of seconds off the clock, which I think would hurt.
It's costly.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a gamble for sure.
Yeah.
Putting all your money on red as soon as you walk into the casino.
Not a big red guy. And Romeo Edwards makes the pair. And now it's a 3-point game. So you have 5 seconds left to play. Jaquan Whitley is your best 3-point shooter right now. 9 of 23 from beyond the arc. 39% today.
It's either Jaquan Whitley or Anthony Young, because Anthony Young, don't forget the type of shooting he put on this first half. He was 4 of 6 from the first half, and then he's cooled off rather in the second half. So if you want him to shoot it, if you believe in him, you have him shoot it because he had the hot hand. However, Jaquan Whitley does not back down from any challenges, given that corner jump shot is patented. So a big moment for him. Someone has to step up and make a big play. You have 5 seconds. You don't necessarily have enough time to nickel and dime with a layup because they're making their free throws. You have to shoot for it because you're down 3 at the end of the day.
So you're shooting a 3 with 5 seconds left to play, or
hoping for a putback.
I was gonna say there's not really much time to score quick. Then foul immediately. You don't have that kind of luxury of time to go.
The gamble was lost. He made both free throws. Now you have to get a shot off, and you just want a good shot attempt at the basket.
Young with no seconds, this shot, and he made it! 119, we're all tied up and going in overtime. Anthony Young with the shot of his life. And Coach Stallworth gets bailed out from his guard, who's been good all game long, but Anthony Young will send us into overtime in our first overtime game of the year. Alvin, how do you like that?
If you don't like that, you don't like basketball. Anthony Young taking the challenge. He's hot. He's 5 of 7 on the day. He's going crazy. ISOs, Romeo Edwards. Great defense by Romeo Edwards, but a phenomenal shot by Anthony Young, sending his team to overtime, the first overtime we've actually seen in this league. Hats off to Anthony Young picking up that call and making a huge play for his team and giving them a chance to win this in an OT.
119 to 119, St. Pete. That was good defense as well.
That's
Anthony Young, desperation heat beyond the arc. And sometimes miracles happen.
Prayer was answered. That was great defense by Romeo Edwards, but Anthony Young dots the I and gets them into overtime.
He must have picked up a good penny outside before he walked in the venue.
Well, he's been hot all day. He was 4 for 4 to start off, and then took a heat check. That was how he got his first miss. And his second miss was off of a highly contested 3. So he's been hot this whole game, and love to see him pick up that call. The former Edgewater College Tiger of Jacksonville native, a huge 3 to give him an opportunity to win this ball game.
So it's just like it's a 0-0 ball game. Now you only got 5 minutes to play. The ball is live, and St. Pete wins the toss. So here's Shane up top, who will throw it to the right. Romeo Edwards running the offense. Man-to-man defense by the Gainesville Mighty Oaks, who are in their blue jerseys today. Romeo Edwards couldn't make the first shot he took here in overtime. And now Anthony Young will go the other direction.
I love this matchup with Anthony Young and Romeo Edwards.
Young throws it to Johnson. He'll dribble left, get to his spot. Free throw, stripe, and he makes the first shot of overtime. Gainesville has the lead again by 2.
Am I watching Jonathan Johnson or am I watching Magic Michael Jordan versus the Jazz? Hanging in the air, get that to fall. Great shot.
Brooks is fouled inside. Now he goes to the free throw stripe. He'll shoot 2 as 40 seconds come off the clock in overtime. Anthony Brooks, another guy who's been very hot for this squad. Romeo Edwards doing a great job as well. Josh Shane, always solid. Anthony Brooks.
The Tide have a deep roster. You have guys, stars everywhere. AJ Williams put up 40 and 20 and that's not enough to win in regulation. However, Anthony Brooks dropped 8 points in the fourth, so you have a lot of guys who know how to step up with the tie.
We're back to being tied up 7 for 8 is Brooks from the line today. That's 88%. Romeo Edwards flying in for the layup on the right side.
Every time he gets the ball and attacks, I just feel like I'm going to see the craziest dunk of my life.
123-121. Johnson up with the left hand, and we're back to being tied at 123.
Tit for tat basketball, you gotta love this. The tensions are high. Both teams playing their best basketball in overtime.
Brooks to the right side. Back to Shane, who pump fakes, gets to Mirovic to bite, and he makes the shot from mid-range.
Great shot at a crucial point in this basketball game.
Lead back to 2 for St. Pete. Whitley throws it left. Doherty to the left block. Johnson spinning, and with the hook, he ties it back up at 125.
Just pure offense in this overtime.
Edwards inside is fouled.
You have to love the mindset Romeo Edwards has had in the second half of this ball game. He caught a body early on in this game, got his team involved, stayed aggressive on defense, and now you see him attacking. Relentless pursuit to the rim.
Alvin, how many times do we talk about free throws late in games?
That is a staple for basketball. It's the basketball rule. You have to make your free throws, because right now it's tit for tat. It's knotted up, and it's going to be that way. But you miss your first free throw, and that gives them a chance to get ahead in this overtime quarter.
Young the pass left, the bounce inside. Yes! Jonathan Johnson for the lead by 1. 2:40 to play in overtime. Down low, ball cut off by Doherty. He passes ahead to Demirovic. Whitley up top, and Johnson putting it through. Jonathan Johnson puts the team up by 3.
Mighty Oaks are looking for each other, and that's how you win ball games.
Edwards drawing the foul. Last 3 possessions that Edwards has gone in, he's gotten fouled.
And that's just something he's been looking for. Aggressive pursuit to the rim, not letting anyone deny him, absorbing contact, trying to finish, but he has to make his free throws. They're sending him to the line early and often, and that is really, if he misses his free throws, that's good for the Mighty Oaks, because that keeps the ball out of A.J. Williams' hand. He has the hot hand, obviously. He split his last 2 attempts. Coach A.J. Stallworth doing a little dance on the side. But that's something that the Tide are going to have to deal with. When Romeo Edwards is aggressive, he's getting these foul calls, it doesn't allow A.J. Williams to get his second chance bunnies, so to speak.
Edwards does the same thing he did last time, and he splits the free throws.
They're down 2. You know what that means.
We'll swing it up top. Hayes dribbling left from the left elbow. Johnson, the fadeaway, couldn't get it to fall. He's got 43 points out there.
And he's just having a stellar display of offensive mastery, to say the least. And Zell Murphy with a key box out on the other end, getting the foul call. And now that puts you in an interesting position, because the Mighty Oaks would have had a 2-possession lead if they were able to score. However, now Zell is shooting 2, and he could knock this game up.
Zell Murphy with 13 points in this game so far. First one was up and good. So Murphy this season has not shot free throws yet, so it's our first time seeing him, as well as his first time in the NBA shooting free throws. They made him look easy. 15 for Murphy, and we're tied back up at 129. Demirovic pushing ahead to Johnson, full speed. Hayes, one dribble for three. Boom!
That's a huge shot by Jabari Hayes.
Jabari Hayes with 10. 132 to 129 with a minute and 40 to play in overtime. Brooks, bump fake against Johnson. He'll get a screen. Now goes left, inside, restricted area. Left-hand layup is no good. Williams couldn't make the two putbacks. He's still under the basket now, spinning in on Demirovic as he falls down to the ground. He got hit in the face. Demirovic is in some pain as his teammates will help him up. Demirovic thought he had an elbow thrown in his face. What an unbelievable game we've seen. Gainesville at one point in time had the lead by over 10. St. Pete never went away, clawed their way back, had the lead by 3, and then Anthony Young, as time expired in the fourth quarter, hits a desperation heave. And must have said a really nice prayer before the game.
Well said. Well said.
It's kind of your game recap.
This is just a phenomenal game. Bend but don't break, and that's the mindset the Mighty Oaks has had. And they've done a phenomenal job of putting together a solid second half, because the Tide came back and they surged, but they did just enough to knock this game up and give them a second chance. And now look at it, playing very well in the face of the adversity.
I have actually thought you were going to lose your mind at some points in time today, Alvin. The steal from Murphy. Williams pushing ahead the bounce pass, and Edwards putting it through. A 1-point deficit for St. Pete. Edwards with 19 points. Anthony Young up top, his team up by 1. Young dancing, throws it right. Hayes, the pump fake, inside, yes! From 5 feet, Jabari Hayes puts his team back up by 3.
Jabari Hayes coming alive in OT.
Shane swings it to the right. Brooks contested 3. They might have gotten a hand on that one, and Hayes knocks it out of bounds. 34.6 seconds to go in overtime.
My heart is beating so fast right now, Jesse.
You look unwell. Williams from the right side of the basket, baseline, the inbound is stolen away by Hayes. He throws it in, but Brooks takes it back away. Left side, Murphy, Shane, Brooks, Edwards wants the ball, catch and shoot 3, it's blocked. But they get it back, Brooks again, boom! We're tied up again at 134. Everybody's making a shot. Anthony Brooks with 24 points. 17 seconds to go. Hayes with a foot on the line. The long 2! He hit it from the left side. 13 points.
Jabari Hayes has come alive.
Anthony Brooks gets into the lane, and we're tied back up at 136. What is happening? It's madness in the house. Here's Whitley to inbound. It's stolen away. Williams to the right side. Romeo Edwards for the lead. He's fouled with 1.6 seconds left in the ball game. Absolutely crazy sequence there. The only person in the building that is calm is nobody. What an unbelievable thing we have just witnessed here. Alvin, you are, for once in my life, at a loss for words.
I am speechless. Just back-to-back huge plays. Jabari Hayes has 6 points in overtime. Long jump shots, and now Romeo Edwards has a chance once again to seal this lead. He just needed 1.6 left on the clock, and now the Mighty Oaks have to score. Wow, that was a sequence.
takes that one. And a timeout taken by the Mighty Oaks with 0.9 seconds left to go. 137 to 136. St. Pete up by 1. Alvin, who do you give the ball to?
Wow, you have 1.3 left. You want someone who can get above the rim. You want someone to do something like the Suns did. You want an alley-oop play, so it's just a quick dump off, and I can't think of none other than Jonathan Johnson. You want to see some type of screen action, some type of a phantom screen out with Anthony Young, like he's thinking like he's gonna get the ball, and you have Johnson cut to the basket and see what you can do with that. You just need someone to get something easy. It's 1.3. You don't have enough time to really catch it, set your feet, and shoot. I mean, you do, but it's going to be highly contested. Or you could just, if you could get something to the basket, that's what you want.
So you're saying they just run a play, get everything going towards the hoop.
You have to have someone distracted. You have Anthony Young, who just hit the three to get them into overtime. You have him come out off of the screen to be on the high area, so that way he can pull some of that defense away from the rim, and then you have someone else like Doherty or Jaquan Whitley come outside, just so you have some options, and then you have Jonathan Johnson cut aggressively to the basket, and you want someone who can deliver that rock to him with enough time to catch it and secure an easy layup or a dunk.
1.3 seconds on the game clock. Wow. So the out of bounds comes in from the far side. Whitley to inbound. They throw it in to Johnson. And the ball tapped out of bounds. The officials are going to get together to talk about it. I don't know if the clock should have started there. There was no clear possession.
It was so that when he touches it, it runs out, but I don't think the game is over. I think there's still time on the clock. A.J. Williams able to sniff that play out and get a paw on that ball, which is huge.
0.5 seconds on the game clock. It's a 1-point game. They got to get something going towards the basket. Young to inbound, and that will do it. 137 to 136. A tough loss for the Gainesville Mighty Oaks, who are going to be beating themselves up over this one. We're going to take a break, come back for our post-game show. Wow, what a game, and our first one that went in overtime. Stick with us. 2 more games on the way in just a sec, but the post-game show coming up right after this.
World where one girl goes on endless adventures, gives you unbelievable toy unboxings, does insane food challenges, and plays way too much Roblox. It's Elle's Adventures. Subscribe now. Do it. Why not?
Welcome back to the post-game show. Jesse O, Alvin Delvey, Jerry Pettit is our producer. Alvin, what a game. 137 to 136 is the final score of this one. Your player of the game. I know there's quite a few people to choose from, especially because we got a free quarter of basketball, but who is it?
Has to be A.J. Williams. And you can't
Really?
say enough. You can't say enough. A 40 and 20 rebound game, and he had 3 blocks and had literally the game-clinching deflection in overtime. I have to go to A.J. Williams. Hats off to a lot of different players, but A.J. Williams has this.
A.J. Williams with 44 points. Anthony Brooks added on 26, and Romeo Edwards with 21. So from their big 3, they got everything that they could have needed. Jonathan Johnson, 45 points in the ball game. It's a valiant effort, but it goes down all for naught. They lose this one by 1, but Gainesville, what do they have to do better, Alvin? Now they're 4 and 6 on the season. 2 quick losses, back-to-back weekends.
Back-to-back weekends, and in total they lost by 2 points. So you're playing fantastic basketball. They did a better job this game of coming back in the second half and really playing the way they played in the first. And you have guys like Jonathan Johnson making plays. You had Jabari Hayes come alive in overtime. You had Anthony Young hitting the biggest shot of his NBA career to get them into overtime. So a lot of good things for the Mighty Oaks, and Coach AJ did a phenomenal job of getting them ready for this one. However, it's 1 point versus the Tide, which is now 8-2, and you have 1 point versus the Flight, who's undefeated. So it's 1 point, one thing, one free throw from your guys, one turnover, and you're that close, and that's what makes it hurt more, but that's what gives you that hunger to come back and work for this week and come back stronger next week. So they're right there, they're very close. They just need to find that one play, clean it up just a little bit more to get over the hump.
Dare I say, that could have been the game of the year.
Game of the year for sure. First overtime game of the season, and that was our first buzzer beater to witness by yours truly, Anthony Young, one of my favorite guys to watch on the Mighty Oaks. Love to see him have the game that he had. Phenomenal showing of him beyond the arc, and Jonathan Johnson played phenomenal as well, dropping in 45 points. And all in all, great game for the Mighty Oaks. Just need to find that one play, watch film, and figure out what's that one play they need to clean up. Obviously, the free throw line would help because it's 1 point. You make 3 free throws and you win this game.
137 to 136 as we wrap this one up. St. Pete beats Gainesville in the last few seconds of the ball game in overtime. And what a game that was. Stick with us. The Winter Park Storm and the Brevard Bobcats are up next. Keep it here on YouTube and Facebook Live, presented by Volleyball Management.